remarkable job at the start of this season. Matt Elliott and Christian Fuchs join me, Dan Bates, as well as Jerry Taggart, of course, to assess that victory over Rotherham and another convincing home performance, particularly in the second half, which is exactly what we were talking about during the break.
Yeah, it's becoming almost sort of run-of-the-mill, Dan, isn't it? We talked about the sort of lack of excitement in the first half, but it's all part of the master plan, it seems, doesn't it, really? But, the way Leicester go about the game, just wear down and eventually break down the opposition. And it happens time after time after time, really. And no surprise today, you spoke privately to me off air. You fancied a 3-0. So did many other people. And that was the scoreline. It's probably the shortest odds you're going to get for a 3-0 result before the game. But, again, impressive from Leicester, wasn't it? And eventually, patient, as Christian spoke about at half-time, did the job emphatically.
Yeah, Christian, you can definitely come back and do more work with us than your first game with us. 3-0 victory. It was never really in doubt in that second half.
Well, and I think it's obviously you have Patson Tucker scoring the 2 goals, but already you saw from minute one in the second half there was more urgency in their play. The press worked really well with Morrison. I think it was clearing a Patson Tucker shot already off the line where we thought already that's the 1-0. But overall, I think how the team works with and without the ball is tremendous, and very deservedly that they won.
Yeah, we spoke a lot, didn't we, pre-game, Christian, about that man on the screen there, Enzo Maresca, and what he's doing, what he's achieving. We're exactly halfway through the season now. It's been an incredible amount of victories that they've got. Just the sheer 18 out of 23. 19 rather after 23.
Yeah, no, big credit to what he has done with the team, how he's setting them up, and again, deserve to have now a 6-point cushion at Christmas.
Yeah, and the gap as well, Matt.
Yeah.
We now know is 13, still with Leeds, who won earlier. It's just, that's to third place, of course. So, delighted with how the season started.
I don't know how the manager views it and the players, but certainly myself, I'd be using that as an extra motivation. You don't need that anyway. You get that directive from the coach and his staff. It's relayed down to you anyway, and it's ingrained in these players. You can see that. You see there's a determination to get themselves back where they want to be in the promised land of the Premier League again.
Matt, I'm just going to interrupt you because we've got Cesare Casadei live in the tunnel at full time. Cesare, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes, well done. Congratulations on your goal today. How good was that victory this afternoon?
Yeah, it was very good. It was very important. We are really happy. Great effort from everyone, and we need to keep pushing.
Congratulations on your goal again. That's now 2 at that end of the ground, and both times you've been able to celebrate with the supporters. That must be a nice moment for you.
Yeah, of course. It's a great feeling every time scoring a goal, especially in front of our fans. Has been a really great moment.
And top of the tree, just finally at Christmas, Cesare. It's been a really good first half of the season, hasn't it? You must be buzzing, and there'll be some celebrations in that dressing room today.
Yes, of course. We are really proud of our work, what we are doing all together. And as I said, we just need to keep pushing, because we are half of the season and we need to do what we did so far.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Cesare. We'll let you get back into the dressing room for those celebrations. Have a fantastic Christmas as well. Big thank you to
you too.
thank you to Cesare Casadei there. Jerry, we know that you're still with us. You were on co-commentary for us. Cesare Casadei, fair play to him, coming off the bench like he did. Right place, right time, wasn't he, to put that header away? Took it well.
Yeah, absolutely. It hasn't been an easy ride for Cesare, has it really? He came in, scored on his debut in injury time to seal the win. He's mainly started from the bench because of the phenomenal form of Wilfred Ndidi. And when you are coming on as a sub predominantly, it's not easy to get into the game. But today, he showed what he can do. He likes to make those late runs into the box. The build-up play to the third goal, I think, was a thing of beauty. and it was, signed, sealed, and delivered by a textbook Cesare Cassere late run from, the edge of the box. And for once in the game, a Leicester City forward found himself free, unhinged, in the box on a free header from 5-6 yards out, whatever it was, and bang, thank you, signed, sealed, and delivered. Game, set, and match. Good night, God bless. Bye-bye. And he'll be absolutely cock-a-hoop with that.
Yeah, it was nice hearing from him like that, Christian, wasn't it? Straight in the tunnel at full time. And you can see how happy he was. You could hear even the celebrations in the dressing room. And that shows the togetherness that we spoke about when we were chatting about your time at this club. There's clearly a togetherness in this dressing room at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was even more buzzing because I was just waiting for a second post delivery, and thanks to him, we got that goal as well. What I mentioned at the halftime. No, listen, it looks very good, and obviously it's only halfway through the season, still a long way to go, but the boys have given themselves a good starting position for the second part of the season, and we hope that they continue their form.
Just another example that I noticed in the game, Patson Daka's first goal. You're talking about the camaraderie and that spirit that's there. Kelechi Iheanacho was warming up on the sideline, Dennis Pratt, and I think it was Eunice at the time, all three of them standing there clapping and applauding, not for effect, but genuine appreciation and pleased that Patson Daka was getting a little bit of joy, and as were the team, but sort of him individually. Iheanacho could have been thinking, oh, maybe I should be playing today instead of that, or certainly got on at half time maybe, or look at getting an introduction, but he was there clapping and cheering on and encouraging Patson Daka and his teammates. It was good to see.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to see that togetherness, Jerry, isn't it? And obviously you see the scenes at full time, even if it's the players, the substitutes, Enzo himself, really met warmly back by the supporters, and rightly so. 6 points clear at Christmas.
It's vital that the dynamic in the dressing room is a good one, and obviously results and performances help that. But
yeah, it's a touch.
but even when things are going well, that does sometimes the dressing room can be a little bit disjointed. Speaking from past experiences, that from what I know, a good dressing room is more often than not a successful dressing room, and that's part of the manager's remit, is to make sure that the atmosphere within the dressing room, within the changing rooms, is a good one, and obviously, as I've just said, all the success that Leicester have had so far this season, helps all that on its way, and everybody's inclusive, even the players, like you say, who might only get 5, 10, 15 minutes here and there, they're all buying into what Enzo and his staff are bringing to Leicester City.
That is the voice of Jerry Taggart. We've got him, Matt Elliott and Christian Fuchs with us. Still to come on Matchday Live. Don't go anywhere, because we'll assess all 3 goals and hopefully hear from Enzo Maresca and maybe another one of the players as well.
Who wants to join me? Shopping at King Power. 3-day, 2-night stay booked. See ya.
To the rooftop bar.
To snap a photo for my IG.
To eat the famous pad thai.
The new collection is calling me.
Sure, there's a perfume I want. Let me ask my sis.
Yes, of course I'm going. Leicester City, Fox never quit.
Let's go. It's possible, because King Power is more than just duty-free. Shop latest trends in beauty and gadgets. Your coolest staycation. The legendary pad thai. Best street food in town. A place to support your team, a fancy dinner, enjoy shopping at downtown stores and online, or even the thrill of a new experience. Explore your everyday possibilities. The power of possibilities. King Power.
The new season's nearly here and the opinions are getting stronger.
We've got serious pulling power now.
What? To get the top 2 players now?
Aye?
It's like I've been saying, if he settles the squad, we'll be back on top.
Only this time we're going for the quadruple.
You are joking, aren't you?
The time for talk is nearly over.
With over £4 million in free bet giveaways and huge price boosts, kick off your season with Sky Bet. That's betting better.
Jameson Black Barrel unlocks a richer taste experience from barrels charred black by fire for notes of butterscotch, toasted oak, and, ooh, moments like this.
You're built different. Breathing new life into broken. Taking matters into your own hands. Assembling big dreams from the small things. Never stopping until you find the right part at the right price. That's the eBay way.
Hello, football fans. This is a smart meter display. It helps you tackle energy usage, manage your spending, and keep you on target. Now that's a hat trick. Search Get a Smart Meter today.
Jameson Black Barrel unlocks a richer taste experience from barrels charred black by fire for notes of butterscotch, toasted oak, and, ooh, moments like this.
The new season's nearly here and the opinions are getting stronger.
We've got serious pulling power now.
What? To get the top two players now?
Right?
It's like I've been saying, if he settles the squad, we'll be back on top.
Only this time we're going for the quadruple.
You are joking, aren't you?
The time for talk is nearly over.
With over £4 million in free bet giveaways and huge price boosts, kick off your season with Sky Bet. That's betting better.
Welcome back to Matchday Live here on Fox's Hub. We're going to go immediately pitchside because Patson Daka is with our commentator, Tyler Morris.
So the confidence, they told me, you have to take it, and I'll just focus on scoring, nothing else.
And how important was that victory here against Rotherham, particularly with Ipswich coming up as well on Boxing Day?
Well, I think going into this game, we were not looking at Ipswich game, to be honest, because we are always focusing on each and every game that comes our way. So we take each game step by step. So today it was only the focus on today's game, and we're done with this game. Now we have to focus on Ipswich.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well done today.
Thank you.
Well, we caught the tail end of the interview anyway.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet from Patson Daka, and he was right place, right time, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Patson Daka for his goals.
Yeah, I didn't think he had his best game, to be honest, but obviously I understand why Jerry gave him man of the match. You know, he was the game decider ultimately, wasn't he, with the first two goals. And, you know, fair play to him. That's what he's mainly about, really. He's not like Ian Acho. Ian Acho can link and twist and turn and, you know, get involved in the combinations, etc. It has different attributes, but Daka, said it numerous times, really, in this division, I haven't really got any qualms about him. He can finish, and he knows where to be and when to be there.
Yeah, that first one in particular, Christy, and that was just a striker's finish, wasn't it? As Matt said, right place, right time.
Yeah, that's what you want where you want the striker to be, right? But I think what strikers get charged by is the goals, right? But what you can also see, the work rate of every single player, starting with Patson Daka, who just puts the defenders right away under pressure, so they have to play the first ball already under pressure, and that's how Leicester obviously gets a lot of their success, with high pressure and getting the second balls, forcing long balls, and then building their own attack.
I think also on the back of that, you know, as a striker, when you come up against a team like Rotherham, and I suppose a little bit like Millwall as well, who went 5 at the back, and as a centre forward, you can get frustrated really quickly because things aren't going your way. The team aren't playing to your strengths because of the way that the opposition's set up. It can be really frustrating. And as a striker, who you're relying on service, you're relying on chances to get on the score sheet, you can get frustrated, and you can, for want of a better phrase, throw your dummy out of the pram. But you never say that with Patson Daka. And even though it's a frustrating game for him, where he's not involved in a lot of the build-up play, the ball's bypassing him a lot, he still has that attitude of, I've still got to keep going. Still got to keep making those runs. I've still got to make sure I'm in the right place at the right time, just in case that one chance comes my way. And that's exactly what happened today to Patson Daka.
Yeah, I think he's shown that today since he's been here as well, hasn't he? Because it hasn't been, as you said, it hasn't been straightforward for him. He's had to bide his time. He's had to wait, whether it's Vardy and Nacho in front of him, and Cannon now he's got to compete with. But yeah, he's just stuck at it. Always got a smile on his face, positive attitude, and shows that willingness to sort of dig in and keep going again and again and again, knowing that he said not long ago, didn't he, when he got his first game, he said that it was inevitable that I was going to get time. He said the manager told me, basically. So the manager needs to take a little bit of praise as well to keep him on side, and like he does with maybe Patson Daka as an individual, with Leicester as a team. We spoke about it before. They show a lot of patience, don't they, in their games? Sometimes it tests the crowd, the supporters a little bit, but ultimately, more often than not, everyone goes home happy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's an important, and I think it's not a style of football that we as pundits or commentators and also the fans are used to seeing. But the results are coming in week on week, and you've got to, I suppose, try and get in the mindset of Enzo Maresca, because even though you're seeing for a lot of first halves of football where not a lot happens, and then in the second half he switches it up slightly, and then Leicester come out and go bang, bang, bang. How often have we seen that this season? Multiple times. And so you have to, show faith in what the manager's doing. And I've spoken before about it. You have to feel teams out. You have to see what the strengths and weaknesses are, and then hit them where it hurts.
Yeah, that's also what we spoke about, Christian, wasn't it, at half-time? We said that, and we referenced the fact that a lot of Leicester's wins have come in the second half this season, and you said they had to show that patience, they had to stick to the game plan, and they just outpassed Rotherham effectively, didn't they? Tired them out.
I mean, I know what you're saying, Gary, that the games don't give away too much for pundits, but I'm excited seeing that way of playing, knowing how the dynamics work behind it, and again, seeing suddenly Fast showing up in the box for the first goal, or was the second goal, whatever. Everybody's included in the attack, right? And that teamwork, that for me is the most important one. Having those short distances, everybody has the freedom in the attack to express themselves, to be a part of the attack, and then other players compensate the position. So I'm really excited, and for Patson Daka especially, because he might not be as involved maybe in the first half, right? But he knows he has the players around him with the quality to eventually find him, feed him, and he just has to wait for his moment. And rightfully so, he has scored 2 goals and gets all the glory now, because it sets up the game for a win.
Yeah, I think we're actually agreeing there, Christian. I think what I was trying to say was, we're coming round, and I thinking, you understand why Enzo plays the way he does, because sooner or later, the opposition, they'll retire or they make a mistake, unless they just keep going at them at the same process. And as you said, I think I said in commentary, Walt Fast was a bystander in the first half because he was playing that supporting role. And then straight at the start of the second half, you see him driving forward, the little give and goes, the quick passing, which I said needed to improve, and it did at the beginning of that second half. Get released down the left, ball comes in the box, bang, it's a goal. And those are the little bits that, your manager, they make their money on in the dressing room at halftime, is understanding how a team can improve and get the best out of that team. Where, say, in the first half, it's ended up a bit of a stalemate, which it did. The manager makes his money and coming at halftime and saying, right, this is how we're going to get round it in the second half. And in the last 2 home games in particular, where it's been 0-0, Leicester have come out and absolutely blown the opposition away in the second half by just quickening things up or moving players into a more forward position, like he did against Millwall with Ricardo Pereira.
Yeah, and you saw that again today as well. So different times in that second half as well. And again, as you've mentioned there, that Fass is getting involved, and Vestergaard's even sort of creeping forward that 5-10 yards further than he does ordinarily. And they're just slowly putting the squeeze on, weren't they? And sharpened it up a little bit as well. And that's all, with the greatest respect, that's all it was going to take, really, up against Rotherham, because they were here, trying to hang on to what they had already, and it was a pretty poor effort, lame effort from them, in honesty. But
it can't be easy, trying to defend.
Well,
for 90 whatever minutes, and hope and pray that you come away with at least a draw. It's not. I'm not saying it's impossible. It has happened in the past, but as a player and as a team, you're thinking, not another attack. And then it's just attack after attack after attack, and it just grates on you, players on your mind.
Yeah, exactly. I saw a few of their players, huffing and puffing and exasperated. Like the first goal was, what was it, about 56 minutes, was it?
60, I think.
60.
Yeah.
They were all up in arms, and a couple of them, heads on their knees, thinking, it's like they'd let in a 95th last gasp, winner from Leicester. A big effort, but they were out on their feet already. They knew the game was up then, after an hour.
The only way you would accept that as a player is if you had an outlet up top. And unfortunately, most teams that come here and defend like that, they don't have the outlets.
Yeah.
They don't have that one ball that gets you up the pitch and gets other players involved in the game. And that's where it just becomes so frustrating as a defensive team.
We used the word patience, didn't we, Christian? I think, before the game and at half-time. And we used the supporters as an example in that as well. I think this season they've shown a lot more patience as the season's gone on, because they've seen what we've been talking about, the fact that it might take a little bit of time, but Leicester are capable of breaking pretty much every opposition down.
Yeah, and Gary, what you're saying is absolutely right. The lesser you have the ball, which was obviously the case today, the frustration builds. And I think what Rotherham showed in the second half, I think they had one shot that went far outside for a win. It showed when you're on the pitch, and I'm talking as a player now, right, which is quite some time ago now, you want to have the ball, you want to enjoy the ball, but if you never have the ball and always chasing, frustration builds. Or when they, when Leicester lose the ball in the attacking third, somebody is there to counter press right away and get the ball back. So I think Rotherham was able on average maybe to connect 2-3 passes, that's it, before they lose it again and have to chase for another 5 minutes. And that's very frustrating.
I just thought, was that their actual one shot?
I think so.
It was 30 yards from the corner flag, wasn't it?
Correct.
Yeah. There were certainly no shots on target, and that's as much, not just down to the opposition, is it, Christian? That's down to how Leicester played and how they were able to nullify anything that Rotherham may have had.
Yeah, and that comes, and again, Maresca does a great job. That comes just with the setup of the team. You have your wide players with Fatau and with Malvididi, and the rest is everybody is central. And whenever there's a clearance from inside the box, which obviously happened quite some time today, or you lose the ball in a central area, people are around in short distances to counter press right away. So I really love how Leicester is playing, and I really enjoy every single minute.
Yeah, it's an important part because Leicester throw so many players forward, or sacrifice so many players into the forward half of the game. And at times we've seen in the past where Leicester have been a little bit stretched defensively with teams who do have an outlet and do go down the sides and at times, and that was more towards the beginning of the season. And now what you're saying, as Christian has just said, is when Leicester lose the ball in the opposition's half, it's so important that someone is there to try and win the ball high up the pitch and then regain possession and keep applying that pressure for a sustained amount of time. And that's exactly what you've seen today. The likes of Ricardo, Dewsbury Hall, in the middle, and Ndidi, in the middle of the pitch. You see it with the two wide players on many occasions when opposition teams are trying to, build an attack down either the right or left-hand flank. The two wide men defensively, are very, very good, and they're very, very willing to track back and you know, try and make interceptions. So it's an all over the pitch thing. Everybody's involved in it, and again, one of the reasons why Rotherham had that half-winded shot come, you know, clearance in the second half.
Shot clearance. I don't think I've ever heard a shot described that way, but
as a clearance,
it's fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was, wasn't it? If that's a shot,
yeah,
then I could still go out there and do that.
That was reminiscent of your sort of efforts,
Yeah,
to be
was,
fair.
to be fair.
But I think you're seeing it. Leicester are becoming more and more efficient.
I'm going to put across you, Matt, because...
That's twice you've done it now. Exactly. I'm getting offended.
Enzo Maresca is with our commentator, Tyler Morris.
One more win, that is the most important thing. And then it was exactly the game we expected, a difficult game, because we knew that we needed to be patient. But at the end, we did the most difficult thing in this game, that is find the goal. And then we deserved to win the game.
And of course, 2 of the goals today were from Daka. How good is it that he keeps on scoring since returning to the side?
Yeah, absolutely. He deserved it. He deserved it because he has been 3-4 months without playing game and keeping work hard, and he's doing very well.
And in terms of that first goal, was there a point where you were worried that maybe it just wasn't coming?
No, to be honest, even first half when we finished 0-0, I was happy because it's very difficult against this kind of team when they drop to find space, to find solution, to find the goal. And in the same time, it's very dangerous because they can create dangerous in counter-attacker, and we manage quite well.
And how important was this win considering the game coming up on Boxing Day against Ipswich?
No, yeah, it's always good to win game. For me, to be honest, I said before the game, between tonight and Tuesday game, was much more important to win tonight. And then now we prepare for Tuesday.
And once it did hit 3-0, was there a bit of a focus on that Ipswich game in terms of the changes you made and in terms of the way that we played, in terms of just keeping the ball and slowing things down?
No. We just make some changes, like we always try to do, and nothing more than that.
But thank you very much, Enzo. Thank you.
That was Enzo Maresca there speaking to our commentator, Tyler Morris. As ever, Christian, after, 19 wins in the first 23 games of a season, he's going to be a happy man, isn't he, this Christmas?
Absolutely. Who would not, being top of the table, top of the tree, like you like to say, 6 points clear. It's a good position to be in. But again, he will do well, and I think the way he manages the team to keep them humble, keep them down to earth, because like we said at halftime, there's still a lot of games to be played, and those teams that are chasing right now, they will want to also come and catch Leicester. It's the team to chase now, the team to catch now. But again, with the way Leicester is playing, and if they can keep the consistency within the performances, I see a good time forward for Leicester.
Always interested in listening to his interviews, post game, before game, whenever it is, because it doesn't give too much away, but it just gives you enough to sort of get you, asking a few questions yourself, and as to how he operates, and like there he's saying, "Oh no, just normal," I'm not bearing in mind it. So he's not saying winning the games and getting the points there is normal, but we're just ticking over. But there'll be an element of both, probably. He does make changes within games because he knows it's a heavy schedule, but he also knows it's Ipswich as well. He knows, there's not necessarily a lot riding on it, but it's a big game. If Leicester were to go and win it, and he's got to prepare in the best way possible, then you really are talking, aren't you? Even if they don't, it's not a massive issue. There will be blips, but he's a pretty cool customer though, isn't he? He's a decent fella. He comes across really well and always interesting to have a listen to.
Just finally, I think it'd be fitting, Christian, for you to have the final say on our show, Matchday Live, this afternoon as we say goodbye. You can definitely come back a 3-0 victory on your debut with us. It'll be great to have you back. It's been fantastic speaking to you.
Well, as always, pleasure to see Leicester win, to see the two of you. Kind of miss Leicester. Trust me, we do. But that's why, we follow every game, because Leicester we consider our second home. And maybe I'll be back at some point to come and watch you guys live.
Yeah, absolutely, Christian. You are
That'd be
always
nice.
welcome back, Christian. Always welcome back. Yeah, thank you to Christian Fuchs,
Cheers,
to Matt
mate.
Elliott, and to Jerry Taggart for their company this afternoon on another Leicester City victory. 19 out of 23, 6 points clear at the top at Christmas. Have a fantastic Christmas, everybody. You deserve it.